Hello everyone and welcome to YK Reviews. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. I know I'm a little late to the party. I watched it week by week, but I just never had a chance to review it until now, and I definitely want to talk about it because with Obi Wan Kenobi, the Disney Plus show, I was so excited for this show. I grew up on the prequels era. Like, me and my brother watched Phantom of the Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith together. This was the only time me and my brother actually genuinely watched something together, and I genuinely enjoyed it. So I was so excited finding out that Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor was coming back to reprise their roles, because I over the years grew to love the prequels as much as everybody else. I wasn't a huge fan of Attack of the Clones and Phantom of the Menace. I loved Revenge of the Sith, but Attack of the Clones was hit and miss for me. But then I rewatched it over the years, and I just started growing to love it more and more. And I recently did a whole Star Wars marathon, watched from episode 1 to episode 9, and even watched all the movies in between, like the Solo movie, the Rogue One movies. I've watched the Clone Wars animated show. I'm right now in the middle of watching the Rebels show, so I'll be also doing a review on that one too, so look out for that one later on. But watching them again earlier this year, I just remembered how good it was, and despite all the criticisms and everything like that, it was genuinely good. There were good storylines and good movies out of it, being that they are prequels to episode 4, 5 and 6. So as I said, I was genuinely excited to see Obi Wan Kenobi, the series, and watching how that would play out. My thoughts overall, I would say, was I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people had a lot of issues with the show itself, but I enjoyed it overall. But what I would say is that there were a lot of scenes and a lot of episodes that were very underwhelming or very disappointed. I feel like each episode, it would take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. For example, when we move to the first episode, with the first episode introducing Obi Wan Kenobi, what he's been up to since Revenge of the Sith, Order 66, what he's living out day to day and everything like that, keeping an eye on Luke Skywalker as a kid. And so it's a slow introduction and introducing Princess Leia too to the mix and everything, which I was genuinely surprised by. I wasn't expecting it to be about Princess Leia and everything, but it was a nice tone. It set everything up nicely, and then you have the Inquisitors going after the Jedis and everything. I know a lot of people were focusing on the Reva character, how it looked like she was trying too hard to be tough and all that kind of stuff. But I thought her scenes were good and strong. It's what you expect from an Inquisitor, intimidating. And it was a nice introduction to the show. I genuinely enjoyed the first episode. However, the criticism I have, and I know a lot of people were criticizing about this as well, is that chase scene at the very end. So you're chasing this girl in the forest and you are running after her, and then you see some twigs and branches in front of you, and your logic is, I cannot get around this. So that kind of just I felt was very, very weak, but it was a very great start to the episode. I genuinely enjoyed the very first episode, introducing Kenobi, introducing the Inquisitors, introducing Leia. So I thought it was a very, very strong start to the series. The first episode was really good, barring that little chase scene. So then you move on to the second episode, which I enjoyed parts of it, I would say, because you have Obi-Wan Kenobi trying to rescue Princess Leia, going into these different planet, and you're introduced to Kumail Nanjiani's character and him being a scammer, pretending to trick these people and pretending to have the Force and everything. So you have that little side quest going on. Then you have Kenobi chasing Princess Leia, and I like the character, the little actress that portrayed Princess Leia. honestly really nailed the role. She was very, very good in this. When it comes to like the interactions between her and Obi-Wan, it was entertaining, it was great, and I really, really liked that little cameo of Temuera Morrison. I'm so sorry if I butchered the name. With little as like the clone, you see what like the clone's been up to after like Order 66 and how like they're just down in the dumps, that kind of thing. I really liked that. But overall, when the Inquisitors do arrive at the planet and are like going after them and chasing them, and you see like Obi-Wan Kenobi on the rooftops like fighting, and like Princess Leia falling off the building and him trying to like bring back the Force, because like you see him slowly it's been 10 years since he's like picked up a lightsaber or used the Force, or like him trying to bring himself to use the Force again and all of that. It was very great storyline. And then once again, like the Reva character just pushing the boundaries, ignoring like the other Inquisitors, like ignoring the Grand Inquisitor, ignoring the fifth brother, and just like them having to put the whole like city in lockdown, and then her putting a bounty on Kenobi because she's like so desperate to get him. And like I felt like that was just like getting annoying too. I like the introduction to her character in episode 1, but then in episode 2 it's like you're just forcing it too much, I felt like. So then you have the little chase scenes and then the little shootouts in the rooftops, which came across really, really nice, came across visually. It was really nice to look at. And then the ending, the little twist ending, which we eventually know towards the end of the series, with Reva killing the Grand Inquisitor, like using the lightsaber to stab him from the stomach, but we find out later on that he's not dead. But also because like in Rebels he's appearing in the Rebels TV show and everything like that, so we knew he wasn't dead. But that little reveal of Reva telling Obi-Wan Kenobi that Anakin Skywalker is still alive, that he is Darth Vader, like he's still alive. Ian McGregor's acting was just so spot on, just so on point with that. Like you can feel the fear, you can feel the concern in his eyes, and I loved that scene. And that's what was so great about the prequels, is Hayden Christensen and Ian McGregor, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi's like chemistry with one another, and the way they just brought those characters to life. That reveal and his reaction made that episode for me, and that's why I enjoy episode 2 a lot, was because of just that little scene right there. And episode 3, which I feel like the start of that was like a little bit weak, from the moment the episode began up until like when we find out that like Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader arrives to the planet, like everything before then just felt like very weak and wasn't as strong as like the previous 2 episodes. It felt like it just went by very slowly and not a lot happened. But once Darth Vader arrived, and like you can feel Ewan McGregor's fear, and he can sense him, and you just have Vader walking about just killing villagers left, right and center, and then the whole fight scene and just the interactions between Vader and Obi-Wan, which like their first battle, it reminded me of episode 4, the New Hope's battle, where lightsaber fighting wasn't as strong, but you knew because Obi-Wan Kenobi is like trying to slowly regain his ability, his Jedi ability, so you knew it wasn't going to be as strong, but you feel it between them, you feel that fight scene, and then Darth Vader burning Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I just felt like the episode in whole, other than Darth Vader's scenes with Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Darth Vader scenes, it just didn't feel as strong as like the previous 2. And then that's the same with episode 4, because at the end of episode 3, Reva captures Princess Leia and then takes her to Mustafar, and I just felt like episode 4 was kind of like a repeat of episode 2. Like Princess Leia gets kidnapped and them having to rescue her, but like in terms of the rescue itself, you like the scene with Obi-Wan like turning off the lights, using his lightsaber, like taking out those 2 stormtroopers, was great. It was great to watch and great to look at, and him using the Force to like close the glass so that the water doesn't come in was really nice to see. But then everything else, you have Princess Obi Wan Kenobi in a trench coat with Princess Leia in the trench coat, and I just felt like it was a repeat of episode 2, saving Princess Leia, but then some of the scenes was just so like comedic. I felt like episode 1 when a grown adult cannot go past a branch, and then episode 4 where nobody notices a child in a trench coat. Like episode 3 and episode 4 just slowed the show down a bit, I would feel like. And then come to episode 5, and then we actually learn the backstory of Reva. Like I felt like Reva's character arc was kind of like up and down. Like she had a strong start in episode 1, episode 2 and episode 3, like you can see it's just pushing it and trying too much, and then episode like 4 and 5, like you finally start learning a little bit about her, how she was part of the children when Order 66 came about, when she saw like Anakin kill all these younglings, and she was the one to survive, and she's been working her way to like try and get into Darth Vader and kill him eventually. So like I liked that. I like how like they brought that about, but I felt like some of the scenes with her was just like a bit too much when it comes to like how she's trying to like go about things. But so then you have like episode 5 when she's like explaining that to Obi-Wan, explaining what she's doing and why she's doing it and everything. It was great to watch. And then the whole little scene, like the whole just Darth Vader, I feel like all his scenes just stole the show. When he arrived in the planet and he just took down that ship using the Force, whole ship just like brought it down. And then the battle between her and Reva, like he just toyed with her and eventually just like left her for dead. But then for the finale itself, I loved the finale, because a lot of like the Disney Plus shows, like with the Book of Boba Fett and like some of the Marvel Disney Plus shows, like the finales have just been hit and miss, but with this one I feel like they've really landed it. The fight scene between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, and I'm just getting goosebumps just talking about it again, when like the lightsaber duel was probably one of the best lightsaber duels they've done, and it was just so choreographed well and just stunning with like the red and the blue lighting and everything. It was amazing to watch. And once like the helmet cuts and you see Anakin Skywalker's face, you can hear his voice switching from like Darth Vader's to his voice, and him telling Obi-Wan that like he didn't kill Anakin, Darth Vader did. It was so amazing. Like it was so emotional and it was so great to watch. And it does answer a lot of questions why Obi-Wan doesn't call him Anakin in episode 4. It ties up a lot of like loose ends with like those little like hints and scenes and everything. But it was just from the fight scene to the interaction between them at the very end, when like Obi-Wan's talking to like Darth Vader and everything. It was so great to watch. But I just feel like what lowered the finale, I think, again, it was with Reva's character, is with the whole story arc, when she like when she goes after like Luke Skywalker, when she goes after him, and then she eventually decides to like not kill him, but like bring him back to Owen and Obi-Wan and everything like that. And just there was just not much like in terms of story progression with her character, which I just feel like brought the finale down a bit. Overall, with the finale, it was a strong finale, and that little cameo between Qui-Gon Jinn, like you knew it was coming throughout the whole show. You could hear his voice, you could see like him talking to like Obi-Wan, but then like his little cameo, it was like a nice little nod. And like I said, because I grew up in the prequels, I first saw Phantom of the Menace and Qui-Gon Jinn, and I really liked that scene. So I feel like overall, in terms of the show itself, I enjoyed the show. It was hit and miss with in terms of some of the episodes, but in terms of the show altogether, I liked Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. I feel like I wish I focused more on Obi-Wan's storyline. I focused more on Obi-Wan itself, but because a lot of the focus was on Reva's character and Reva's story arc, but I just feel like it should have focused more on like Obi-Wan and his interactions with Darth Vader. But in terms of the show as a whole, I definitely recommend watching it. I highly recommend streaming it on Disney Plus and like watching it again, because I'm definitely going to be watching it again as well. But in terms of plot wise and everything, I wish they could have done more. I don't think there will be a season 2 because there's not really much you can do now afterwards with that. Maybe have a separate show in regards to Darth Vader, but I just don't think there can be much more storytelling when it comes to like Obi-Wan. But overall, definitely enjoyed the show. If you have seen the show though, please like let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you haven't seen the show, go ahead, go watch it, because I don't think you'll be disappointed, especially if you grew up on the prequels and you've seen episode 1, 2 and 3, and if you have seen episode 4, 5 and 6 too, you definitely won't be like let down with this. But yeah, these are my thoughts and my opinions on the Obi Wan Kenobi series. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. And also I have a Twitter account, link is in the description below. Go ahead and follow me on that. I will be posting whenever I upload a video on my Twitter page as well. So thank you so much for all the support, and this is YK Reviews. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.